So exactly, there's over 90 plus social media sites out there, so it's a little overwhelming. And so because of that, we found for tourism that the top 4 are Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, and Twitter. So today we're just going to focus on those 4. And so to create your strategy and figure out which platforms are best for you, you want to look at what are the most widely used platforms, how does each platform stand out from the rest, and how can you reach your target audience on each site. So let's just start off. So the answers to that will help you figure out which platforms are right for you. So for each one, we're just going to kind of do a little overview quickly. So with Facebook, its primary purpose is to build your brand's loyalty and to show your consumers what your destination is all about. It's where they're going to go to get your information, what events you have going on, and just to look at your videos and pictures to see if they want to come visit you. So what makes it really unique though is it's your ability to drive traffic to your website. It's one of our number one, it is out of all of our social media sites, the number one traffic driver to our website. And it also, by letting your fans share pictures and videos and stories, it helps you build brand loyalty and credibility on your site. And also, so this was the article that Lindsay was showing earlier, that content that worked really well. So once we did this, over 27,000, from just pushing out on social media, on Facebook, with this one post alone, over 27,000 people clicked on it and went to our website. So that just shows the power of one great piece of content on a great social media site. So just a quick look at a few Facebook demographics when you're thinking about which one is right for you. So over 77% of women are on Facebook, and 73% of people from ages 39 to 49 are on Facebook. So from this, we can see that Facebook is definitely a great and the best place to target that primary audience of family, travel, and also targeting towards women. And you can also see that there is a good range of incomes on Facebook, so you can use it to highly target based on the price of your product, how you want to target on Facebook. So a little bit about Twitter. Its main purpose is to share what you've got going on and all your exciting content and news stories in 140 characters or less. So one of the main things that's unique about Twitter is its hashtag community, and so through that usage of hashtag, you could communicate with so many people that even aren't following you yet, because you can grab their attention with those hashtags. And one thing that I think makes Twitter really unique is its trending topics. And so every day, if you go to the left-hand side, it'll always have like what the newest trending topics on Twitter. And that's a great way to engage with people that you aren't connected to yet. So here's just, so every day I just go through and kind of throughout the day check. Friday Feeling's a great one to use. It's usually trending on Fridays. Just everybody's excited to travel, so that's a good one to look out for. Also, there's Travel Tuesday and Music Monday for the Year of Georgia Music. That one's fun too. But just for some different ones, like for example, around Thanksgiving, there was Black Friday in 3 words, which most people were talking about the craziness of shopping and everything on Black Friday. So we used it as an opportunity to say, go hiking instead. And then we gave some hikes to do in Georgia on Thanksgiving break and Thanksgiving. So that one had an extremely high engagement rate just because the people that were going through that hashtag, there was a lot of really funny answers in that one. And then another one that was just another example, just we wanted to inspire our visitors with this one. So if everybody remembers the Powerball craze a few months ago. So we used that just to say I was taking awesome road trip through Georgia and gave a great picture like, oh, I want to go here and take a road trip. So that one was more to inspire people to come if they were going through that trending topic. So a few things about the demographics here is one thing that's really interesting on Twitter is that there are more men than women. So if your destination can be focused more towards men, Twitter is a great platform for you to be on. Also, the user is a little bit younger. You can see here, mainly between 18 to 29. So this is a great place to target that young and free audience if you can. And also, last thing to note is that Twitter's income is a little higher So if you are a luxury destination, this is another great resource platform for you to use. So one of my personal favorites, Instagram. Its whole purpose for us is to inspire visitors to come to Georgia. So it's the perfect place to talk about that inspiration and motivation like Lindsay was talking about earlier. And one of the main things that makes it so unique is your ability to use that user-generated content. So that means that people have posted for using your hashtags. So we'll look at that a little bit. And so you can use all that content that they send you to repurpose it. So people get really excited when their picture is used. So the best thing to do to give you permission to do that is add in your Instagram bio, like use hashtag Explore Georgia to give us permission to repost. And so that way, when people are using your hashtag, you can just go through it, and then you are able to curate content from that for your own page, because then it gets more, you get more engagement if you're using that user-generated content. And this was an example of, these were the top 9 photos from 2015, and every single one of those was a user-generated photo. So that just shows the impact and the power of using that great footage, or photos that they give you. So a little bit about Instagram's demographics. You can note it's a lot younger, so this is a great place to, once again, look at that young and free audience and those millennials. And also one thing that's really interesting here is there's more people in urban areas, and so a lot of urbanites are looking to get out of the city. So if you are a destination that has that kind of unique aspect, Instagram's a great place to target that. But at the same time, people in the cities are also looking for the best of their cities and things that are really unique. So if you have that too, you can kind of use that in both senses of targeting those urban dwellers. So a little bit about Pinterest. So Pinterest is just a visual bookmarking tool that helps you discover and save creative ideas, and it's a great place for us to share our travel ideas and content. So one thing that makes it great is it is the number 2 traffic driver to our website. And so by creating those boards, you can really inspire your visitors, and you can kind of give them a whole overview of everything that you want to do with each of your boards. So a little bit about this demographics, which you can guess, Pinterest is mainly women, so it's another great place to just target that family audience and those women, that first profile that Katie was talking about. So that's about, yeah, oh yeah, and then one more thing, there's also, you can see that 17% of over 65 plus are on Instagram, so it's, Pinterest, so it's also a place where you can target that affluent traveler and those profiles that Katie was talking about.
So Parker, Pinterest was number 2. What's number 1?
Facebook.
Facebook, okay.
Yeah, definitely traffic. It's crazy how much traffic is delivered to the website. Do you know that number, Katie? The percentage of traffic to the website from Facebook alone?
When we just look at referrals to the website from social media, Facebook is our number 1 referral, and I think it's something like 60% of our traffic from social media comes from Facebook. So it's definitely one of the number 1.
So, first thing to remember is you definitely want to know your audience, know who you're targeting, and you want to remember those key audience demographics. So you want to tailor your destination's page to your consumer base, not on your own personal interest. And so your followers they care about what you can do for them, not the other way around. So remember that when you're tailoring to your audience. You want to do it from your business, from not your own personal interests. So even though some people may think this is true, you definitely don't want to post all day, every day. People will get annoyed if you blow up their news feed and they will unfollow you. So just when you're doing that, looking at your analytics will help, and just figure out those key times that your audiences are online and only post during those times of day. So you definitely don't want to be like everyone else. You want to be original and stand out. And social media is all about taking chances. So try something new and see if it works for your site. You don't know unless you try. We're all about that trial and error. So just help and see make your brand stand out from others that are similar to you in your competition.
Parker, do you want to tell them about the experimenting you did with the Facebook timing? Like that 10 o'clock?
Oh, yeah. So when we were looking on our Insights page on Facebook, we had been posting from the 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. slots because we thought if you see the trend, if we post a little bit before, maybe we'll like ride that train and keep getting more people. And so the past few weeks instead, we're like, well, let's see what happens when people are already on. So we've been posting it like an 8 o'clock and 10 o'clock spot. And our engagement on Facebook has really extremely gone up, which was kind of surprising because it said the peak time was 9 p.m. And so I guess people are starting there at that time on there. And so if you haven't done that, try that 8 to 10 p.m. slots and see if they work for you.
How many people did we reach last week?
Yeah, we reached 1 million people last week from changing those times. So it's crazy, and that's like what I'm saying, it's all about trial and error and just seeing when your followers are active, testing out different things. We found it's easy to do it like when testing stuff, you have to at least give it a week or two to try it out before you change it up because you're not going to be able to tell anything from one day. So stick with that like time schedule for a week or two and then try a new one the next 2 weeks and kind of see which one worked better with your audiences. So you definitely want to interact with your fans, build on relationships online, just like you would in person. Think of every interaction you have as you're like talking to them in person. If you can answer a question on Twitter or a comment on Facebook, reply as soon as you can. They know that, and it's also to help drive traffic to your website. If you can send them a link with more information, that's always a great thing to do. And one thing that we've really started doing is our Facebook fans really like for us to ask them questions. So what do you think is the best so-and-so? So we've started a new series called You Pics. And so we've asked our fans, where's your best place to get boiled peanuts in Georgia? We're about to do one of the best road race you've ever been in. So that's also, they are very engaged with those. So that's something to think about testing out too, is just asking your Facebook fans what they think. Because we know they all love to tell you their opinion. Okay, so even though you think it might be good to connect with everyone, you don't always have to do that. Before you give someone a follow back, check out their profiles because you want to think about it is that's a reflection of your business. Is not only who follows you, not really who follows you, but more of who you follow. And so you want to make sure to keep that in mind. So you want to make sure that you're associated with people that are similar to you and knowing that you would not want to be associated, not your brand would want to be associated with in real life. So don't overuse hashtags. I think this sign says it all. Friends don't let friends use too many hashtags. So hashtags are great for, like we said, engaging in those conversations, but you just don't want to overuse it, especially on Facebook. On Instagram, we know it is that hashtag community is really growing. So what we try to do is in our little comment on the Instagram, we're only going to do like 1 or 2 hashtags, but if we want to connect with other things, we're going to add it in a comment below. That way you can still get the engagement from those hashtags, but when people are scrolling, they're not going to see a bajillion hashtags just kind of blowing up their feed that they don't really care about. They just want to see the image. So you definitely want to keep your brand consistent and keep that same voice and that same view similar across all of your social media channels. And you definitely need to establish that clear vision before you're going in there and setting your strategy. So our best practice guides that you have in your folders will help you if you need any help with establishing that consistency. So, like Lindsay was saying with the content, we can't get enough of visuals. So videos, photos, they all get so much, it's crazy how much engagement those will, and it will boost your like for example on Facebook, if you get a really engaging photo on there, we've noticed that like if we have a blog post before and after, it'll increase that engagement too. So you definitely need, it's always great on those sites just to throw in a great photo, and you can include like a link if you want to on that, but it will help your overall page if you get that engagement up through photos. So just as, for example, we'll go over a few more statistics, but content with relevant images gets 94% more views than that same content without images. So that just proves how important these visuals are. So just to reinforce this, here's a few more importance of visuals. So they increase, retention. So this was interesting. When an information is paired with an image, people retain more of that information 3 days later if it has an image with it. And also people who are like following directions do 323% better with an illustration than without it. So that's even something about like if you're trying to put up a map to your destination or something, maybe make it a little icon, like, you know, graphic or something, to help people remember that part of your destination. So they also increase your reach, like we've been saying. So articles with an image once every 75 to 100 words get double the number of social shares than those without images. So that's definitely why Lindsay was saying in this guest blogs that we would love for you to do. If you include those images, it's going to keep the person engaged and will also get more social shares, so that helps everybody out. So here's just a few examples of how visuals have worked for us. So this one is a picture of Cumberland Island. We just used it to inspire visitors to plan their trip. And in the comments, we included a link to more about Cumberland Island. But this is also an example of where we used our followers' photos. So they sent us this photo, and so we used that. Always make sure to give them photo credit. And that just was another way to inspire visitors. And so in this tweet, yeah, we can say that Savannah is romantic, but there's another better way to show it than to tell it than to show it. And so what better way with a horse-drawn carriage ride? That looks like a lovely romantic day. And this last one was a blog post, and we just really wanted to make sure the image in the blog post captured that essence of what food festivals in Georgia are like, and we thought this one really did. This one did really well, reaching over, at this point when we screenshotted, almost 123,000 people. So one thing with blog posts is, especially on Facebook, you want to make sure that it's the full photo and not, sometimes it'll come up as like a little square over here and then the words right here, and you want to make sure you have this larger image. So sometimes it's just easier to even though this image is in the blog post, just upload it on Facebook instead, so you have that larger image that's going to stand out when people are just scrolling on their feeds. So visuals also, just one last thing about them because they're so important. They also increase your engagement by 2 to 3 times more. So that is just, this one right here, this was a great photo. So this photo reached 1.9 million people and received more than 10,000 likes and almost 15,000 shares. So why did this one image do well? It's because it was at the right time of day. That looks like, everyone there looks like they're having really fun, and it looks unique and different, and it's like, oh, I want to go do that. And so one thing we did here was give a call to action, so make your tubing plans. And that's just something to remember, because that's like, oh yeah, because some people will be like scrolling through, and if they go and click on the link, they'll do it then. They're not going to remember to like go Google it later. So if you can just give them that link and just make it as easy as possible for your fans, that's always a great thing to do. Right, so just a little bit about planning ahead and doing that when you are looking at your social media plan. I'm sorry, my allergies are getting to me, so I'm sorry if my voice sounds a little scratchy. Okay, so it's really important with especially when you have all that great content, to map it out on your social media sites and kind of have a game plan when looking into that. So knowing what to publish, when and where will highly increase the visibility and reach and engagement of your posts. And the good thing about if you plan out your content, you've still got the flexibility and you can always just reschedule that. So we'll look at a few more elements to a great social media content plan. So we've got 5 things here, and we're just going to run through these quickly and kind of do a little overview of why each is so important to a successful content plan. So here's an example of our content calendar, and yours definitely doesn't have to be this detailed. We just have to keep it this way since we're going over the whole state. We have to keep organized. But this is available on Market Georgia if you want an example of a content calendar. So we just use that to keep up with our, like, if you send me an event you have going on in 4 months, I can go ahead and put it on our content calendar so I don't forget about it. And then I know, like, looking ahead a month, okay, a month out from that, I need to start promoting that. So this content calendar just really help you keep organized, and especially if you have more than one person that's helping you out. It's a great way for you to work together when you don't have to be sitting next to each other, especially if you just have a quick Google Doc that anyone can pull up and also add ideas to. So this is one of the most important rules to me, I think, is curating your content. So you always want to curate your content so that it is the best reflection of your destination as you can be. So to help this has been extremely helpful for me. I always follow the 80-20 rule. So 80% of the content should just be interesting and engaging to your fans. So that's itineraries, blog posts, photos, all the fun stuff that everyone loves to see. And only 20% of the time should be promotional materials. So when you're thinking about that 20% would be that time to throw in sign up for our newsletter, promotional items, those kind of things. You only want to post those 20% of the time on your social media pages. So you want to get them engaged first, and then every now and then just throw in a quick little pop of what you really want them to do. So, well, many of you might not have time to schedule out your content on like Facebook or Twitter, but if you can, it is a great, great resource, and we highly recommend it. So it allows you to work ahead and go off of your content calendar for all the events and everything that you are doing. And it's another great example is like, let's say this one, if something came up on I need to reschedule this, I can always just push it back and I've got content for the next day. And if you are looking at kind of a schedule, for example, we post twice a day or sometimes 3 times on Facebook. So this is just kind of an example of a schedule that you could follow. And that's a lot for someone, so just like we said, pick those few platforms that you really want to work with and start there. So just an example would be 2 posts a day on Facebook, 3 to 5 tweets, 1 post on Instagram, and 1 post on Pinterest. It's something that, you know, just set that goal for yourself and try to maintain it for a few weeks and see how your engagement and your reach can grow. So the last thing, especially in tourism, is seasonality and timeliness. So when you're thinking about that content and scheduling and making that plan for yourself, think about the time of year it is and what events you have going on and what holidays are coming up. So for example, so like they said earlier, Katie or Lindsay said, Georgia leisure travelers plan their trips 2 to 3 months in advance. So that's something to really think about when you're talking about, for example, Memorial Day is coming up. So we started a few weeks ago pushing out our Memorial Day getaways and content and are keeping those going right now. So also if you plan ahead, you can develop your content and really get a strong strategy for your whole year if you can kind of get an overview of what you want to do with that seasonality. Okay, so last thing, how can we help you promote your content on our sites? So these are the things that work really, really well on our site. So if you have any of these photos, I love, love, love great photos.
Sunrises,
Sunsets, waterfalls, and if you have any covered bridges, those work really well too. And also things in list form. I mean, it does really apply for every tourism destination, but there's things that make our state unique and different. The list forms, anything top 10, 5 reasons to visit, those do so well on social media because it's something that they can quickly, those list forms, they can quickly scroll through, get the information, and then move on. Also, off the beaten path and hidden gems, people love those so much. So if you've got like a unique aspect of your destination that you can take a little spin on and run with it, go for it. And also those deals and specials, because who doesn't love a good deal? So here's just an example of something that happened, this was like 2 weeks ago. So in Milledgeville, they started a Georgia's Antebellum Trail.
We're part of it, so it's mainly the historic parkland, so it's at this.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah,
Okay, so Bonnie was telling me about
Yes.
it. So that's why. So she emailed me about it and was like, "This is going small page viral. Could is there any way you could share it?" So I was like, "Of course, because this content would do so well on our site." So from just us sharing it one time, it was reached over 52,000 more people just by that one share on Facebook. And they gained over 600 followers that night. So they only had 200.
Yeah, the page has only been around for 6 weeks, so.
Yeah, so you know, if you have any of those things you are doing well on your pages, send them to me. And if we can share them and fit them in our schedule, we'd definitely love to, because that was super exciting just for that one post that they got so much more reach and engagement. So, if you ever have an event or something special that you really need help promoting with, this is the best way, is to send me an email, there's my email address, with the link for your event or your destination, a high-res photo, and then the dates, because even if it's a few months ahead, like I said, I can go ahead and put it on our content calendar and get it figured out in our schedule. So the earlier the better. That is always helpful. That's another way we can help you promote it. And also the last way we can help you promote it, your destination on social media, is that Katie and I love to go around the state and travel and see what all you have to offer. So while we're there, you know, we'll take photos for Facebook, Instagram, tweet, and now that we're on Snapchat too, that our Snapchat is growing daily, so that's something that we're really using while we're out and about.